So some client success figures I've learned from running my bookkeeping and accounting business since about 2015. So at the time of this video, about 10 years, right? Really, really exciting. It's a really big milestone. I think they say like 1 out of 10 businesses actually make it to 10 years. Now, the cool thing about this is not necessarily that, like, you know, business is necessarily hard. It's more just so that a lot of people that are successful in business, you know, 10 years really like the horizon that most people kind of shoot for, because most people who start a business, maybe they already have like success inside of their field, or they're just getting close to retirement age. So after about 10 years, most people who start a business are ready to retire. For me, you know, it's been kind of cool because, you know, the businesses have gotten so easy to run, both from our bookkeeping business as well as our mentorship program, that I can do this probably for another 5, maybe 10 years. Now, if I do it for another 5, 10 years, who exactly knows? But hey, one sec, thinking, tracking, cancel. Let me track, boom. Now it's tracking me. So in order for you to be able to have success, you know, whether you're, you know, 2 years in, 3 years in, 10 years in, or whether you're just getting started, like maybe you're new to this industry, you don't even know like really that much about accounting and bookkeeping, and you're maybe wondering like, what does that have to take to be successful? So number one, okay, experience is only as good as your ability to communicate how you can help, as well as like the real world equivalent of what you bring. So a lot of people really struggle because they're thinking that experience is amount of time. Now, in some cases, in like a traditional sense, you've been like working at, let's say, an accounting firm for 40 years and you've been doing bookkeeping, yes, you're gonna have experience, but you'd be so surprised how many people who are very good at what they do cannot communicate to the average person what they do, why it's important, and why someone actually needs the service. You'd be so surprised. Like, you ever want to stump someone? Go to someone that's been in accounting for any amount of time and say, well, why is accounting important? You'd be like, well, it's accounting. You know, everyone knows why accounting is important. And you'd be surprised, no, people do not. So really being able to communicate what you know and how you can help someone out in a very clear and concise manner is going to set you apart from 90% of your competitors, just being completely straight up with you. So ideally what you want to do is you want to be a people person first, a bookkeeper / accountant second, right? A lot of people kind of have it backwards. So I was talking to this lady and she was doing a consultation call. She's one of the mentees in my mentorship program. And she was just kind of trying to speak accounting and trying to tell this guy how accounting and tax processes work. But it was very apparent that she didn't really know what she was talking about. And I asked her, I said, you know, what was inspiring you to kind of like maybe start giving advice on something that you didn't really understand or know? And she said, well, I was trying to show off my experience, you know. I didn't want him to kind of think I didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, well, if this business owner knows anything about the topic or the field of what you were just saying, if he knows anything about what he's saying, he would know that what you said was incorrect. And it wasn't even, it's not that that's a bad thing, but you start to lose credibility, and now they start thinking, well, this person does not know this. What else do they not know? And it's not a problem if you don't know something and you admit that I don't know something. The problem is when you say that you know something, you say it very confidently, and you're blatantly wrong. So the thing I like to think about is like, it's better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and expose it, right? And confirm it is what the old adage used to be. And there's a lot of truth in that, you know. Oftentimes, if I don't know something, I just smile and don't say anything. Like, I just like smile and like it's someone said this accounting software one time in a sales call, and the only reason I noticed that I watch back all of the consultation calls I do for like training purposes. And one time this guy said this like complicated software I had never heard of before. He said, and he's like, yeah, you know, we use this. And I smiled. I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, you know, the software does this, and this is what it's considered. He basically told me exactly what the software was, and I didn't even have to admit that I didn't know what it was. And I figured it out after he told me exactly what it was. So by learning how to strategically not say stuff, as well as be able to communicate the stuff that you do know, you're going to, number one, boost your credibility and sail past people that are much more experienced. The cool thing about this is, like, you know, and even if you do say something wrong, or like maybe you just don't know something, it doesn't mean you're not going to get the client. The lady we're talking about in the video who, you know, was kind of saying something incorrect that probably shouldn't have, right? She still got to clean up for $50,000. The person paid her $50,000, okay? So it's like, you don't have to be perfect. And like, she wasn't even that, I think she was only like in the bookkeeping field for probably about 3 to 6 months. I think she said about 6 months. We had worked together. It took about 90 days from when we first started working together to when she got the $50,000 cleanup. But it doesn't have to take you that long. You don't need to have years and years and years. Like, I have some people that join our mentorship program, like, well, so-and-so's been in accounting before. I've only been in accounting for 4 years, for 3 years, for 2 months. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just do the stuff we talk about. One thing that's really important is, like, whenever we're giving people, like, scripts and, like, sales scripts, we are building in specific value points so that the business owner is listening for key things, right? When they don't really know what they don't know, they're looking for things that sound familiar to them. And the more that you are able to hit these value points, you're going to be able to get them to say yes much more easily without feeling like you're convincing them or doing a bunch of sales tactics or just kind of like, feeling kind of like slimy or icky from doing a lot of sales stuff. Now, when it comes to value and really learning how to communicate the value, right, it's less about what you say and more about what the other person believes. So, kind of going back to that first thing, a lot of cases, the reason why people have trouble selling, whether it's bookkeeping, accounting, selling water to an Eskimo or ice to an Eskimo or whatever, it's because you think that you know what the other person finds valuable and you're telling them what you think they want to hear and what you think they should do and should know. I also like to kind of like compare sales to kind of like dating. So some people have preferences. Some people like men that are really mean, like they're really mean, like the bad boys they say, right? And some people like men that are really nice. Some people like men that are really short. Some people like men that are really tall. Some in the middle, right? But if you go to someone and you tell them what they should like based on what you think they should like, oftentimes you're not going to get very far, right? So that's an interesting thing. It's the same thing when it comes to value. A better way to kind of go about dating would be like, see what this person likes. Listen, do they like people that are nice to them? Do they like people that are your height, or they usually like people who are like a little bit different? Do they like this about a certain personality? Do they like this as a hobby? Okay, cool. And then if you match those characteristics, you just basically highlight which characteristics you match. Like, oh, you like people that are 6 foot. I'm 6 foot. That's awesome. Oh, you like people that grew up middle class. I grew up middle class. Oh, you like people that do this. I do this. This is perfect, right? Blah 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 blah. Simplified version, of course. Dating can be kind of challenging for a lot of people. So a lot of different things kind of inside of there, but it's all about the preferences that a person has, right? Because, for example, someone could like bookkeeping, and they could be on the phone talking because like, hey, I need a bookkeeper because every single month by day number 25 in the month we run out of cash. Every single month, without fail. I can almost pinpoint it. And I don't know how to solve that, right? So you can do a cash flow analysis. You can help them do a cash flow report. You can track where their money goes and how can they extend, the money or even make more money so that by the time the month ends, they have more money in the bank than not enough money in the bank, right? And just really making sure that you understand that. In a lot of cases, like, the value is going to be in the so that statement. So that. I'll give you an example. I am going to help you track your cash flow so that you are going to have more money than days in the month, okay? I'm going to help you understand your financial statements so that you know exactly where your business stands every single day, month, and year, right? So that you always know where you are and you're never flying blind, okay? It's the so that. It's basically the formula of value, right? If I'm going to say like some just very short value sentences, it's I'm going to do this so that benefit. I'm going to make a trends analysis, okay? I'm going to make a trends analysis so that you know how do you compare and like where are you kind of going compared to other people, or if it's gonna be like benchmarks, right? It's like, where does your business compare to other businesses inside of your industries? Or you can make a forecast, okay? So where are you either projected to be, or like what does this look like 6 months out, 12 months out? Like what is your business gonna look like, right? So that you're able to know exactly to the penny how much you're supposed to be spending in order to go and reach your business goals, right? Now, if you're ever on a consultation call or talking to a business owner, and the business owner goes, "So what?" or "What's the point of this?" you are starting to lose them. The reason why I say "so that" is because it cancels out "so what." I never want a business owner to be like, okay, so let's say for example, you're like, okay, I'm gonna do a P&L for you, P&L, right? And the business owner, "What's the point of that? You've lost." Right? I'm going to P&L so that you know X, Y, Z, right? It's the "so that" will cancel that out, because now they know, now it shuts out that part in their brain. Okay, that sounds great. That's exactly what I need. I need that benefit that you're going to help me with. And then you're able to keep adding that value. The more times you can do that, and the less times they say "so what," the more money you're able to charge, because they fully see the value in what you're offering. Okay? Now, the third thing is, in order to really have good client attraction success, you need to get good at sales, okay? So marketing becomes very easy when you're good at sales, because you just need to say exactly what you say in a sales call. You just do it in the written or spoken words, okay? So one reason why I can speak on this YouTube channel, not only because I know what I'm doing, right, I have experience, but on consultation calls, I basically talk about a certain set of things. So let's say someone's thinking about our mentorship program, right? There's only so much stuff I can talk about. So when I'm doing these videos, I'm just talking about similar things to what I would talk to on a mentorship consultation call. And since I had 300 or so, well, it's technically 375 people go through our mentorship program, I just can say the same effective words that I know people really resonate with, that allows me to be able to get more and more and more. But if I had never gotten someone in our mentorship program to work with us, or I never, got any bookkeeping clients, I couldn't speak about any of this stuff. I couldn't write any of these blog posts, and it makes it very hard. But a lot of people, what they're doing is they're writing content like on their LinkedIn profile, their Facebook page, or maybe they're even trying to do YouTube videos, but they've never sold a single client into their bookkeeping services. So if you can't get someone to take out their credit card on a consultation call and work with you, the words you're going to say inside of your content is just not going to be effective, and you're just going to be spinning your wheels. So you have to get good at sales. Now, there's a couple different things you can do to get good at sales. Number one is get a good sales script. Okay, so when I was starting back in 2015, there weren't a lot of programs that had all this stuff, like where it's like, they could give you pricing calculators, they can show you marketing templates, they can give you profile templates, give you website design, give you sales scripts, right? So I had to go and buy a bunch of different courses to kind of put everything together. So I bought one course in negotiation. That's where I started learning my objection handling. I got one that was on how to do used car sales. That's how I learned how to present the service package I was going to do. I bought another course that was on consulting things. That's where I learned how to ask good questions in the beginning to get good answers. There was another one where I learned about how to do, it was kind of like a Toastmasters thing, where it was how to do your elevator pitch. Nowadays I call my elevator pitch my attractive character. So I stuck my attractive character, the consulting based questions, the used car sales presentation, the negotiation for objection handling, and I put all of them together, and I just kept refining it over and over and over again. Now, maybe if you want to join our program, we will give you these different scripts all in one. But if you don't join our program, it's still okay. You can just go on maybe YouTube and just watch a bunch of sales videos. Just put a bunch of them together and just see what works. Okay, it's gonna take you a lot more sales calls to kind of get it together. But I mean, it's an option that you have available to you. Now, it's kind of tough, right? Because in our industry, it's a little bit different. So the way that we teach our students to do consultation calls and to do marketing is that we get, let's say in a month, we're gonna get 2 to maybe 4 high quality leads to get on the phone with us, right? And our goal is to close 3 out of 4 on average, right? Now, if you're doing this stuff, you're probably not going to get more than 5, 6, maybe 7 consultation calls in a month. And if you're every single time that you do a consultation call, you're practicing a new script or doing configuration, you're going to blow through a lot of leads. So you might as well just join a program, get the stuff from the ground up, so you don't have to waste time. I'll give you an example. The lady that did the $50,000 cleanup, that was her first consultation call. Not her first consultation call on our program, her first consultation call ever. And she got $50,000. Could you imagine if she had just tried to find a bunch of random scripts online and try to practice on that person? There's no way she would have gotten that deal. There's no way, right? So it's like, have a good script, number one. Number two, practice that script every single day, okay? So when I was starting my business, I literally would take that script. Remember the script I talked about where I had the 4 parts, the elevator pitch, the consulting questions, the car sales presentation, and the negotiation objection handling. I would go through that script 3 times a day in front of my little camcorder. And I just be me staring in front of the camera, just reading it off, right? So when that moment came, I took advantage of the moment and I was ready, okay? I didn't drop that many sales. Like now, to be honest with you, before I had the sales script, I went 0 for 36. That means out of 36 times where someone scheduled a call with me to see if they could buy something, 0 of them signed up. It wasn't until, like, that was the only reason I started getting the script. I didn't know that at the time, right? So I started looking for these different options online, started buying all these random courses. Once I started getting better at sales, then my conversion rate was very strong. But, you know, if you want to be like me in the beginning, I mean, you definitely can. You know, all power to you. But if you want to go from the start and be successful, you can do it. Give me one second, my light turned off. Come on. A little distracting for me. But yeah. And then once you do that, you just got to get good at like holding your confidence to be able to explain the value, right? But if you can show your experience by doing like very, very simplified examples, if you can learn to communicate the value by saying the so that statement, in addition to having a really good script that you've practiced over and over again, you can go and grow your business very quickly. Getting to 6 figures is not necessarily hard. It's very tricky if you don't know what you're doing, but it's not hard, right? So it's like, that's why whenever you see like our testimonials for our program, it's like, it's very consistent time frames and result, because once you figure out what to do, getting it to continue and getting it to work is very simple. When you don't know what you're doing, almost nothing works. And that's very frustrating, okay? So if you want, and that's any business, that's like any business, like any business is going to be frustrating until you figure it out. Insurance sales is difficult. Learning to be a financial advisor is difficult. Being a lawyer in the beginning is difficult. You know what I mean? So like everything that's worth doing is tricky and difficult in the beginning, but at least once you get a client here, they don't leave you. The average time spent a client will stay with someone in the accounting field is about 7.5 years, right? So if you get a client one time, that's 7.5 years they're paying monthly for you. What is that? What's 7 times 12? 4, 7, 1. That's 84 a month on average you're gonna get paid, okay? So let's say that you're getting paid. I'm gonna pull out my calculator for this, you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta pull out your calculator, just know mathematically when it's time to do something else. So $500 a month times, let's say 84 months. That's one client is worth $42,000 for you, okay? You go and get 10 of these, this is $420,000. I mean, it's not really that, you know, challenging at the end of the day, you know? It's just, you just gotta do it, you know? You just gotta do it. So if you want some help growing, like maybe you've been trying to do this stuff, it's just not quite working the way you want, or maybe you're thinking about getting started, just like, hey, I don't want to recreate this wheel. Let me just like get in line with someone that already knows what they're doing. Let's partner together and let's walk down this path together. Go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video. Book call myself. Let's see if our mentorship program can actually be the thing that helps you go and get to where you want to go. Maybe for you, it's that you want to spend more time with your family. Like maybe you've been, you know, feeling like you don't really know your kids anymore. They're growing up so fast, and you know, unfortunately, you have to do what you have to do, and you have to work a lot, right? And you know that maybe if you could grow this business and like you could get it to a point to where it doesn't require 1,000,000 hours of your time, and you could actually be able to go and spend more time with your family, you can, you know, really get to know your family again, get to know your spouse better, get to know, you know, your children. Maybe everyone's grown, like rather than growing apart and like maybe leading to divorce, you can get your family back together and just really, you know, really kind of build a better foundation. Maybe it's you haven't been on a vacation in a little while, right? And maybe you just don't have the time to do the vacation, or maybe maybe it's just more you haven't had the time to do the vacation. Like you only get a couple days off of work every single year, and you know, even when you want to do some paid time off, you feel guilty because you know you're leaving your team stranded. Either way, you know, if you want some help, or if you're thinking about starting, if you want to spend some time with your family, and if you want to be able to go on some more vacations, click the link inside the description. Book a call with me. Let's see if I can help you out, okay? I love to help. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm making all these videos for you, because I really want you to succeed. And I'm always watching your success from afar. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.